Did you know that people spend 55% of their day listening? But did you know that only 17 to 25% of the information that people are told is actually retained in somebody's head? What happens to the rest of it? Why can we not remember anything else? Is it just gone forever? Studies have shown that listening is considered the most important business skill of the 21st century. But then why are people so bad at it? We oftentimes think that we're better listeners than we actually are. We decided to put this to the test here at BYU. Check it out.
So Carla, on a scale of 1 to 10, how good of a listener do you think you are?
Probably 7 or 8.
7 or 8? Okay. 1 being like, oh, very good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When people don't listen to you, how does that make you feel?
Unappreciated.
And if you could give one advice to someone to like better their listening, what would you say?
Well, I would say to maybe put like electronics away and just give your full attention.
Yeah, I think that's a huge one. And the last question is, do you remember my name?
No, I don't think I did you tell me your name?
I did.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, how good of a listener are you?
Oh wow. I personally would say 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. And when people don't listen, how does that make you feel?
Yeah.
It bothers me, and I usually say something about it really quick.
I don't know.
What would you say?
Hey, you're not a good listener.
Okay.
So,
Bold. And if you could give one piece of advice to somebody about how to be a better listener, what would you give them?
just listening in general is important it's important for your relationships with other people, especially if you love them. So if you care about someone, you should put in the time to listen to them and make sure you put them first before yourself.
That's the point. And one last thing, do you remember my name?
I don't think you told me your name.
You did, right at the very beginning.
No, I don't remember it.
I'm Cassie.
Cassie? Okay.
That's okay.
Okay, and the last question is, do you remember my name?
I do.
Do you?
No.
No? It's Cassie.
Cassie.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yep.
And last thing, do you remember my name?
Nope.
Kayla?
No. Close.
Do you remember my name?
Do you remember my name?
Do you remember my name?
Oh man.
Angela. Close, it's Cassie.
Is it Rachel?
No.
I feel bad.
The fact is, listening is not something that's super simple or easy, but it is a skill that is super important for everyone in the human race. Listening is something that can help us connect with other people. It helps us in our personal relationships, our personal development. It helps with our careers, in our everyday lives. And there's a saying that God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen more than we talk. Listening is something that can help others feel important. It's something that will help them feel loved, and it's a way that we can show our attention to them. So today we're going to teach you about a couple different steps that will help you to listen. Oh my gosh, Kate, look at this. It's this picture of this cat, and yesterday I was at the grocery store. and there's
Sorry, just really quick. Just speaking of cats, I have to tell you the weirdest thing. Last night, me and my roommate, we were sitting just on our couch, like doing homework, and we looked out the window
Kate,
and we
you're not
saw
even
a bunch of cats. And we were like, where are these cats even coming from?
Kate, you're not
And there was like
listening.
3 black cats, there was like 4 black cats, and 2 yellow cats. And we were like, what?
It's obvious that a lot of us like to talk. In fact, sometimes we fall into the trap of thinking that everybody else thinks that our lives are just as interesting as we think that they are. But there's something that happens when we decide to stop talking and start listening. And that's that we become more vulnerable in the conversation. We let the other person have control. We show them that we care by letting them decide where the conversation goes. We show them that we care about what they're interested in instead of talking through the whole conversation. And sure, it's hard to not want to talk, but by stopping talking, we show that we can listen better. In addition to this, when we don't talk, we actually can be more persuasive than when we do talk. Sometimes we think that the only way that people are going to understand what we're trying to say is by arguing our point. But in reality, all that does is make people more defensive. But when we take a moment to sit back and just listen to the other person, we start to build more valuable relationships. We start to show them how much we care about them. You will not believe what happened to me the other day. I was at the airport and I went through security and everything was so great. And then I get on my plane and guess who's on it? Britney Spears. And it was awesome. And we sang together and she loved me and she wanted to be my family. And we're gonna have so much fun together because we're gonna be BFFs now.
Another huge thing with good listening is eye contact. We've all been in situations where there's been no eye contact or too much eye contact, and it's awkward for everyone. With eye contact, you want to relax your eyes as much as possible. You also only want to focus on one eye. And during eye contact, you want to have a nearby gaze spot, somewhere you can turn to so you're not just staring at them the whole time. Another thing that's helpful is to break your gaze by nods or by hand gestures to make it less awkward.
Okay, so over the weekend, I went to this cave, and it was so weird because it was underground. Cassie, are you even listening to me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So we went underground, and it was like super creepy and dark, and we were taking all these really cool. Cassie, what are you doing? Stop going on your phone.
No, I'm listening. I can hear
not
you say,
listening.
I was going to the store, right? And then,
That's not it at all.
okay, I'm listening.
Nope. It's really important that while you're listening, you remove distractions. Distractions are something that takes our attention away from the speaker. So that means we should put our phones away, we shouldn't play with our hands, we shouldn't look out the window, we shouldn't play with our papers, but we should be looking at the person and really focusing on what they're saying. For example, when your friend is there Snapchatting or talking or texting on the phone, how do you feel? You don't feel very good, right? It's because you feel like they're not listening to you, that they don't love you and they're not paying attention.
Hey Cassie, sorry it's late. I just had to talk to somebody. You're never gonna believe it, me and Tommy broke up last week. It was so bad. We went on this walk and we just started listing off all the things I was doing wrong, and it seriously was the worst, and I don't know what to do.
Wow, Kate, that's really awesome. I'm so happy to hear that.
Wait, what? No, Cassie, that's not what I was saying.
Hey, I've really got to go. I'm going to catch the elevator. I'm probably going to lose service in here, so I'll talk to you later, okay? Okay, bye.
Wait, oh, okay, all right, bye.
Not being able to read somebody's body language or tone is a huge key indicator that you're not actually listening. How frustrating is it when you can tell that somebody's not listening to what you're saying? It's super annoying, right? But there's some things that you can do as a listener to show that you care and that you're listening to what the other person has to say. One, lean in to show that you're interested. You can even nod, and you can also lean your head to show that you understand what the person's saying. When you lean back, you show that you're threatened and that you don't want to be in the situation. Another thing that you can do is when you do get the chance to talk, use open gestures. Instead of pointing with your hand, try and keep your arms open. In addition to this, try and keep your body language open. Have open arms and open legs. Don't keep anything crossed because that shows that you're not wanting to listen to what they have to say. When you smile, try and smile with your eyes. By doing this, you will show them that you really are taking an interest in what they have to say. And the last thing, try and avoid any barriers between you and the person. There's even studies that have shown that the higher that you hold your coffee cup means that you are more insecure in a certain situation. So keep anything away between you and the person to show that you're open to listening.
Hey, Cassie, how's your week been?
It's been kind of bad actually. I lost my job yesterday, so I am just like super stressed about finding another job, about money, and then my dad's freaking out at me, so I'm just really confused right now.
I'm seriously so sorry. I promise, when I say this, I mean it. I know exactly how you feel. Last week, I went to go take my test for physics, and when I went in, I had lost my pencil. And I checked my backpack, I checked everywhere, and I couldn't find it. And so I really know what it feels like to lose something that's like super important.
So Kate, you're relating you losing a pencil to me losing my job.
Yeah.
Okay. Our last tip for today about listening is the importance of empathy. This is one of the greatest parts of listening because it's what can help us show how much we care about the person. For empathy, we need to learn how to put ourselves in other people's shoes. We need to keep an open mind and try to see it from their perspective. This doesn't mean that we should be sharing our own random stories that don't really have anything to do, because that will not help them feel important or loved. Remember to show empathy. You are there to listen, help them get their thoughts out, and help them to feel understood.
There are 5 main benefits to good listening. The first one is good listening positively affects your dating life. Those who know how to communicate and listen to the person they're on a date with are 71 times more likely to get a second date than those who don't listen. During a date, people are looking for someone who's listening to them and who actually cares what they're saying. The second benefit to good listening is it increases your ability to get a job. It also increases your ability to get promotions and get a raise within a job. During an interview, a boss is looking for someone who's actually listening to what he's saying. And during a job, it impresses your boss when you can really understand and listen to your clients. The third benefit to good listening is it helps increase your grades. NASA just did a study this summer and it went to show that those who listened in class versus those who just listened to music or talked to their friends and didn't listen to their professor did better. The fourth benefit to good listening is those who know how to listen save time. As people, we feel cramped, we feel like we don't have enough hours in a day. One way to feel like you have more time is just to learn how to listen. You don't have to ask people to continually repeat themselves. And like in class, if you're really listening to your professor, you won't have to go research how to do your homework afterwards. You'll know how to do it the first time. The fifth benefit to good listening, and most people already know this one, is once you've developed the ability to really understand your peers and those around you, you then have the ability to understand animals. But that only comes when we first know how to communicate and listen to humans.
Okay, and so if you could give one piece of advice on how to be a better listener, what would you say?
That we should all do it more, care a little bit more. I think not listening is a little more maybe we're thinking thing.
I would say instead of thinking how you're going to respond while they're talking, just listen to what they're saying. Like, you can take time to learn to think about what you're going to say as a response.
Awesome.
It's hard work.
Okay.
Takes a lot of focus.
Sounds hard. Probably something that I do that I think makes me a good listener is just trying to like rephrase what the other person has said so that it makes more sense to me and so that they can confirm the stuff that they've already said.
Okay, that's awesome.
Probably just to try to put yourself in their shoes before making any rash judgments.
Okay.